struggle. You're inviting lack. You need to send out some new invitations. When you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, instead of complaining, you should be saying, I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Coming show, we will have a guest from South Africa who is both an author and a speaker. The CEO of the African Portal Radio TV International based in South Africa. Further, he is also an author, motivational speaker, model, and businessman. He also studied journalism at the University of Pennsylvania. He is the founder of and member of several organizations advocating for the African state and African development. In the coming show, we will have a guest from South Africa who is both an author and a speaker. The CEO of the African Portal Radio TV International based in South Africa. Further, he is also an author, motivational speaker, model, and businessman. He also studied journalism at the University of Pennsylvania. He is the founder of and member of several organizations advocating for the African state and African development.
Hello and welcome, Mr. Elder.
How are you today?
Great, thank you so much. So
it is honor to be here.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's start, please. Thank you so much. After your permission,
let's go for it.
South Africa in focus. What are the burning issues in South Africa? What can we learn from South Africa's experience in transparency, solidarity, and forgiveness of the painful past? And how does it all work? In the show of the Afro-Canadian Eyes on Africa, we have our guest, the author and the speaker, Mr. Elder Olusan, in South Africa, after a very short break, and we will start the talk, please.
We broadcast from Ottawa City, the capital of Canada. Together, we raise the bar and expand our reach. Through Afromedia radio and social media channels. The viewpoint here transcends the narrow constraints of traditional media. In the human story, we take sides. Leading personalities are interviewed. We conduct professional reviews and reports. The original content we produce is created and presented by international journalists. You can only watch Canadian Afromedia channels. It was and still is a very enriching experience to interact with you. All opinions are welcome, but they are not our views, and we assume no responsibility.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Eldo, for coming to the show. First, in the first place, what's the meaning of this very long name? Is the entire tribe listed?
Wow, thank you very, very much. I'm so delighted and I'm so happy to be here. And I'm so glad to be part of the great work you are doing. I celebrate you and I celebrate what you are doing. And to everyone listening to us all over the world, I greet you and I welcome you to this beautiful time. Coming to you live and direct from the studio here in Pretoria, South Africa, the African Portal, and also Afromedia Canada. We are in this together, and I really appreciate you for that beautiful question. Actually, my name is Elder, is a title in the church. My name is Joshua Oludare Olusan. My surname is Olusan, and my name is Oludare. My Bible name, which is the Christian name that my parents gave to me, is Joshua. So the meaning of Joshua is a biblical name, and Oludare is God justification, and Olusan is God pays me. So anywhere you see Olu in Yoruba, is referring to God, because Yoruba, most of the names in Yoruba, I'm a Yoruba. I will explain that when we get to that, but Olu means God.
Thank you. First question, please. After that name, in your own words, how would you describe yourself to the world, please?
Oh, wow. That's a lovely question. My name is Joshua Oludare, like I said earlier on. I'm the author of the book that talk about the African history, African journey, the journey of Africa, all the way from Egypt down to Sahara, to Savannah, to the Africa that we have today. I launched that book the year 2013 at University of Victoria, South Africa. And since then, the book has been doing so well. You can go and grab the copy of that book as well. It's available on all media space. You can get it on Amazon, on a Book, and other online bookstores. So what I'm explaining about myself is I'm author of a book, a father of two, and then also a husband, and at the same time, I'm an elder in the church, and at the same time, I'm a leader of the community. I'm one of the members of the Association of the Yoruba in Diaspora. I'm one of the sitting NEC, that is National Coordinator, or the one in charge of that association. Also, I'm a member of the Yoruba Legend Award, in the Global Award. And also, I'm a member of the Royal Communication around the world. So I have many organizations that I belong to, advocating for the freedom of Africa, for the development of Africa, especially taking Africa from the past to the reality of the time. So that's by the community service. And also, I studied journalism at University of Pennsylvania in the United States of America. And also, I was born and brought up in Nigeria. I reside to South Africa in 2005. And since then, I've been living in South Africa. I've managed to tour around African continent. To be precise, I've been in about 10 to 14 countries in Africa. And yeah, so I've been in the front line as a media personnel. I work for Junk Mail, one of the leading advertising companies in South Africa. I work for Q Photo, which is also a advertising company and a graphic company in South Africa. And I stepped down after, let's say, 5 years ago or 7 years ago to be owner of my business and running my business for myself. So I'm a business.
So yeah, I've seen it's a large presentation. We'll come to that in detail later on. Please, when did you first appear on online media, please?
I've been in the media space for the rest of my life. I've been in media space since almost 17 to 18 years now. So my first appearance in the media space was when I was in Nigeria. I lead one of the teams of the community to do a kind of computer training for people. So I have opportunity to have one-on-one interview with many media houses, and at the same time, I also have opportunity to be with many media houses like BCOS, Ibadan, and some other media houses as well. So that's about 17 years ago.
Thank you so much. What is the nature of your African content, please?
The nature of my African content is to develop Africa, to concentrate on African language, Africa economy, and what I face on is one of the best things that I promote about Africa is wear Africa, speak Africa, eat Africa. Great.
Why are you doing this project?
I'm doing this project. Why? Because I have opportunity. In the year 2010, there is a World Cup in South Africa, whereby I'm one of the media personnel at the front line to attend to visitors visiting Africa for the first time. So I have opportunity to have one-on-one rapport with a lot of people coming from outside Africa. So to my surprise, I realized that the African story have been mistold, and some of the African story have been telling other way around. So we have opportunity to mingle with people coming out from other parts of the world for the World Cup. And to my surprise, when we speak to them and ask them, "Oh, how are you? How's Africa to you?" When before you arrive in Africa and now you are in Africa, they're like, "No, we have seen different things because we've been told that Africa is a jungle, Africa is a no-go area, Africa is a place where people live side by side with monkey. Africa is not a developed state and stuff like that. So that beats my heart.
Yeah, we'll come to that stereotype later on, please.
All right.
Why will your project stand out, please?
Say that again?
Why will your project stand out, please?
Okay, one of the things that make this project stand out is after the launching of the book called The African Porter, about 2 or 3 years ago, I took it further to go into media, digital media, so that is having online radio. So what makes it stand out is that we allow Africa to tell their story. We run a radio station here in South Africa that we communicate to the rest part of the world, putting people on the spotlight, talking about the people regardless of their color, regardless of their background, regardless of their religion or political view. So that is one of the things that make the African Porter stand out.
Great. How will others judge what you did, please?
Say that again?
How will others in your area judge what you did for Africa?
Oh, great. No, we have a very good robust with our neighbors and with the people around us. People appreciate what we are doing, and about, let's say, less than a month now, I have a second version of the African Porter Award, whereby we give an award to people from different parts of the world, and also from Africa. So we have people coming from Angola, from Tanzania, from Kenya, from country in Africa. We give them award. This is the second version. So the community embrace what we are doing. The community believe in what we are doing, and the community respond very well to what we are doing.
Great. I would like you to be very short in the coming question, because I have a lot of questions and I have very short time as well. Thank you so much. Please, thinking of talking about your writing experience. Does writing energize or exhaust you?
Say that again?
Talking of your writing experience as an author.
Okay.
Does writing energize or exhaust you?
To be honest to you, I think one of the things that we need in Africa is to put our story in the book. You know, there is a say that if you want to hide anything from the black man, put it in writing. So we are changing the narrative, and we are making sure that we develop Africa where people can be able to read, where people can see the publishing a book or being an author as one of the important things. So to me, I see the writing as one of the way to life, and I see the publishing a book or being an author as something that is very, very important in this continent called Africa, because it's a height opener. You know, when you read book, you open the book open your mind, your eyes to many things. So to be liberated mentally, you need to read. So reading book or publishing a book is actually a way to build the community and to open people's heart and mind towards what is going on in their vicinity or in their environment.
Great. Thank you. What are common traps for aspiring writers based on your own experience?
One of the things that I believe that that inspired me about writing is that I look at the situation of my continent. I look at how my continent has been shortchanged. I look at how my continent is leaving behind, even though I have everything, but still I'm not enjoying what I have. And that is one of the things that pushed me into writing, to tell the story of my continent, to let the world know that my continent has been there before. My continent has been in the powerhouse of the world before. The knowledge, the development, the technology, the fashion, everything starts from my continent. So that is one of the things that personally moved me, because it's time for me to be able to rewrite the story of my continent, Africa. So that is one of the things that motivates me. That is one of the things that actually gear me up to be a writer or a author.
Thank you. What is your writing kryptonite?
Say that again if I can, if you don't mind.
What is your writing crypto night, please?
Okay. Well, one of the thing is if I understand what you mean by crypto very well, one of the thing that is I'm a critical thinker, and also I'm somebody that's so much interested in developing of the people. As a matter of fact, I'm an activist. I don't like somebody be cheating in where I am. So I have this burden in me when I see other fellow women being mistreated or being taken advantage of. So those are the things that actually the core of my vision and my ideology, for me to be able to make sure that I stood my ground. I use what I have, which is my pen and my paper, to tell the story, and also to voice out for the voiceless, to speak for the voiceless, and also to stand for those that cannot stand for themselves.
Thank you. Do you try more to be original or to deliver to readers what they want?
Definitely being original is one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, because you cannot deceive yourself. Remember, there is a saying that say, we are not Africa because we are born in Africa. We are Africa because African is born in us. And what we call Africa is what the South African call Ubuntu. So you have to be real to yourself, because if you are deceiving yourself or you are deceiving other people, you are deceiving yourself. So, and the greatest damage you can do for your generation is to deceive them. So what we are doing, we are so real to it. We are so mean to it. We have passion for it. And we believe so much in this Africa, especially the United Africa, that Muammar Gaddafi stood for, and the Western killed him for that. This is an international thing, and I'm saying it openly, and you can quote me on that. The what Muammar Gaddafi stood for Africa to be united, that the Western is against because of their greediness, and they killed Muammar Gaddafi. And that is exactly the spirit and the power and the strength that is in us to cry and to speak for the one Africa. So we are so real about it, and we are so determined about it.
When was the last time you were surprised or shocked?
Okay, if I may ask, shocked by what? Surprised by what? You mean surprised by what I see, surprised for what happened around me? Can you elaborate it a bit?
Up to you. Whatever perspective you like to put it on, whether it is personal or professional.
I've never been shocked, because nothing meets me unaware. I'm always on time. So we have the power and we have the strength, both physically and spiritually. So we understand what is going to happen. I mean, whatever that happens, we know that it's been predestined in the realm of the spirit. Nothing happened in the physical realm without being predestined in the realm of the spirit. So we have understanding. So nothing made me unaware. I've never been shocked, and I've never been surprised by anything.
Thank you. Would you like to tell me, please, that no one in your audience knows about you? Something you are saying. Would you like to tell me something that no one in your audience knows about you? Something maybe unique that you are revealing for the first time in your professional media life?
Okay. I don't think I have anything that I've never been mentioned in my media life, because one of the things that I do is I tell my story the way it is. I've never hide anything. So there's nothing secret that people have never heard before. There's no new thing about us or about me that you want to know that is going to be new on this program.
Okay, let me tell you something different, and take me to some different perspective as well. Please, what superstitions do you have?
Say again?
What superstitions do you have, if you have any?
Can you elaborate that, what you mean by that a bit, if I may ask?
Superstitions is like a kind of traditional habits from African perspective that is against technology and science, if you want.
Oh yeah, and one of the things that I understand the question. I just want you to elaborate it so that I can know the direction you are going into. One of the things that I believe and that I uphold in African constitution and in Africa way of life is the Ubuntu. We are because you are. So I believe so much in the word Ubuntu, and I believe in what the Yoruba call value is, which is Omoluabi. The Omoluabi means that respect other, do to other what you want them to do to you. be honest to yourself, be person that actually embrace change, and always be open up to be better than what you are yesterday. So I believe so much in African value, and I believe so much in Yoruba value, which is one of the things that I possess, and that is the Omoluabi and also the Ubuntu, which is the culture and the core value of Africa.
What 3 superpowers would you choose to have?
What is I get that question, but can you repeat it again?
What 3 superpowers would you choose to have?
3 superpowers that I can choose to have.
Exactly.
All right. One of them is to be honest to yourself, because one of the things that you can do to yourself is to lie to yourself. And when you are deceiving yourself, you are deceiving your generation. So one of the things is to be honest to yourself, hardworking, and working smart.
Good. What qualities do you most admire in others?
As a leader of the community, and as a leader of the church, and as a leader in the family, one of the things that I value in people is respect. Respect others. Do to others what you want them to do to you, because respect is reciprocal. So that is one of the things that I believe and I like in the others to see in the other.
How do you deal with fear and doubt, please?
All right. Before I answer that question, can you do me a favor? I would love to have my followers also being part of this conversation, but I can't see it on your site. Is there any way I can be able to share the link with the people? They want to hear me live as well. People want to join the conversation. Is there any way I can do that?
Yeah, sure.
Can you please share the link with me?
Because
I'm currently on your Facebook now, but I can't see it there.
Yeah, it's live. It's live. It's already it's live on Facebook. It's live on YouTube. It's live on our website. It's live everywhere and on 6th channel. And the same link that you have, you can forward it to anyone who you would like to participate in the show as well.
Okay.
Just forward the same link. If you forward the same link, they can enter the studio. If you send them the website or the social media, they can follow you on that later on. And we will plan this to be aired 2 or 3 times in the week. So we'll make the best use of the show. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
No problem.
They missed this, they are going to see it again and again. Don't worry. Yeah. But
all right. No problem. No problem.
This is just a first show. We will have you on many coming shows as well.
No problem.
Yeah. Just tell us about how do you deal with fear and doubt, please.
How do I do with fear? Number one, I don't fear anything. I only fear God.
Okay. Doubt?
The only thing to fear in life is fear himself. And the only thing that can destroy anybody in life is fear. So I don't fear anything. And I can be honest to you. I believe so much in one of the adage of my place that says that fear is the only thing that can destroy everything that you have ever worked for. So we are not timid and we are not being scared by anything. So for me, I don't see it, and it's not exist in my dictionary.
What routines do you follow each day, please?
Thank you very much. One of the routines that I followed each day is that I make sure that I speak to at least 4 people in a day that I've never met before. That is, I make sure I meet new people on a daily basis. And waking up in the morning is a blessing. After the having the one-on-one conversation with the Almighty, then the next thing is to face the day, get better, run a show, be in the studio, having a program, getting people involved, liberate somebody mentally. So those are the most important things that I do on a daily basis. But the one that I do most.
Great.
Continue.
Let's talk about politics a little bit. Is politics something you would like to do? What role would you like to play in local politics, please?
That's a very tricky aspect. Politics, especially in the African content, is one of the things that I think is the damage of Africa. The democracy in Africa is a useless ideology, and those that bring democracy, they have the mission of breaking democracy. Democracy is a useless practice in Africa because it destroys Africa. And the Western that introduced democracy to Africa, they introduced it for their own selfish interest. So for me, politics is not something that I embrace. I don't like politics. I do politics. I can be in politics to play my own role in the settings that is well organized in African settings. But in Western ideology politics, the Western ideology politics in Africa is useless, is nothing to follow. So I don't see myself being in it.
Okay, what is the latest political trend in South Africa right now, please?
In South Africa, the ANC is the ruling party in South Africa, and it's also is the Freedom Fighter Party. It's been in front line to fight against the apartheid in South Africa, and they conquered the apartheid through the great Nelson Mandela. So the ruling party is ANC, and is the strongest party in South Africa.
Can you tell me about the ongoing political debates between all parties right now, especially between the government and the opposition?
Well, one of the things is that the issue going on between the current president of South Africa, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, is one of the things that is gaining momentum in the media space in South Africa as a politician. But it's not really a gimmick, because it's a normal thing that happens in the politics, especially in a continent like Africa. So one of the challenges and that we are facing in South Africa, or one of the politics that is going on, that is gaining momentum, is the issue of the Kuptas. The Kuptas brothers, it's one of the political issue gaining momentum also in South Africa. Not currently, but it's one of the heat of the time.
In your opinion, what has been the biggest and the most successful experience in South Africa so far?
Every day in life in South Africa is a beautiful experience. South Africa is a beautiful country. I'm hereby to promote the country. It's a beautiful country, blessed country, flow for milk and honey. It's a great country, but we believe so much that this country can do better than what it's doing now. But I can guarantee you, everyday life in South Africa is the best.
What South Africa can offer to the world in terms of exceptional success?
A lot, and South Africa is doing it. South Africa is doing it in sports. South Africa has been one of the country in Africa that is doing so well in sports. As a matter of fact, South Africa sports have been on the spotlight and gaining momentum. Their leagues is one of the top leagues in Africa and in the world. So sports in South Africa is one of the great things. South Africa has produced so many great athletics and great women and men in the sport. And also South Africa also has a very great what is it called? A very great judiciary. So the judiciary system in South Africa is one of the things that the world needs to embrace, and it's one of the things that I think is one of the best in the world. And also their constitutional law is also one of the great in the world. So South Africa has a lot to learn, to offer the world in politics, in sports, and in so many things that we can think of.
In your capacity as a media specialist, what do you think of a project like Afromedia Canada, the voice of Africa in North America?
it is a very beautiful idea if we carry the content and if we follow the real content of it, because many of these have come up in the time past, and many of associations and organizations have come up in the past that call themselves America, Africa Development, Europe, Africa Development, but they've never achieved anything in Africa. It's just been said. They just come out and just talking about it, but they've never achieved anything great in Africa. Africa is so behind. So if the Afro-Canada would be the one that can get it right and bring Africa back to the spotlight and make Africa be greater again, I mean, bring the greatest continent again, that would be a very good one, which I'm personally looking forward to. So, but I think it's a very beautiful idea. It's a very lovely idea. It's an idea that I think is going to help Africa and take Africa to the next level.
Are you interested in that idea, and how do you feel about partnership with such?
I'm very optimistic about that, and I'm very open to that. Definitely, I will embrace the ideology. I'll be part of it. I'll play my own role on it to make sure that we achieve the greatness together, because together we can only get better. Divided, we can only destroy ourselves. So our unity, there is strength in our unity. And what unites us is stronger than what is dividing us. What unites us is love. And what is dividing us is hatred. So let's embrace love, because love is stronger than the hatred. So I'm open up to that, and I'm ready for it. And I'm ready to be part of it to make sure that this become a solution to the African problem, not only to migrate Africa to Canada, but to change the ideology of taking people from Africa to all these so-called countries. Why don't we develop Africa to be a country that we don't need to leave this place to come and live in Canada? Why don't Canada leave their country to come and live in Africa? So I'm looking forward to this to be where Africa will be a continent that the Canadians need to leave their continent and come and live here. Not African leaving Africa to come and live in Canada and making Africa, Canada look as if that is a heaven. There is nothing special about Canada. The only thing that's special about it is because they got the system right. So let's implement the same ideology into Africa. Let Africa get it right. Africa has everything to make it great. So let's use the resources of Africa for Africa. Let Africa benefit from the resources of Africa. Stop taking from Africa. Stop introducing the advanced slavery, taking Africa to come and do shit job in Canada. That needs to stop. Let Africa stay in Africa, live in Africa, enjoy Africa. That is what we are calling for, and I'm ready to be part of that.
What is the best strategy to promote Africa in the world and to give a different, brighter image than what is shown in the traditional Western media, please?
Definitely one of the things that you can do for Africa is to keep the African language, because one of the ideology of the Western is to destroy African language because they want their language to gain momentum. There is nothing special about this English that I'm speaking. As a matter of fact, it's not a language to me. The African language is the best. So leave Africa to speak their language. Stop imposing your language on Africa. You make a cartoon, you make it in English. You sell it back to Africa. We don't need your cartoon. You don't need your language. Keep African language. Let African language remain, and keep your whole language to yourself. That is one of the things that I believe that it can take Africa further. African language, culture, and African belief must remain.
Thank you. Let me listen to one of your show, and you comment on it, please.
All right.
Good afternoon, good evening in South Africa. Thank you for another opportunity to come before you one more time. Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate the networking, because we believe that we have what it takes to make a difference, not only in Africa, not only in the Bahamas where I'm from. We believe that we are called to make a difference in the world. And we believe that we are given the keys, and we have given it and entrusted it to us. And this is the best time to be alive, because there's so much assets. We have access to social media. We have access to information. So ignorance is a choice. We have the ability to impact individuals, whether we on the opposite sides of the world. I just want to start off with a prayer. And Father, we thank you and honor you for this time and this opportunity that you have given us to speak over the airwaves, speak to individuals, and those that are going to be hearing this broadcast later down. We just thank you, oh God, for giving them the opportunity to hear our voice. And we just pray, God, that your kingdom come. We pray for your will to be done. We pray for your joy, which is our strength and manner.
Okay, what do you think of this? Your intake on this show?
That's a very good one. I wish you can play it more further, because that is a high opener. That is one of the shows that we have on the African Portal. African Portal is a space where Africa in diaspora also have their home. That is one of the very great friend that is speaking there. Is from Bahamas, and is also one of the voice of Africa in Bahamas. So it is a great idea. I wish we can play it a bit further for people to also learn from what he's talking about. But one of the things that I took from what he's saying is that this is the best time to be on earth, and this is the best time to be alive, because we have access to information, and also we have access to the technology. So it is a great conversation that that's great friend and also a colleague is speaking about there. And that is one of the eye opener that I believe that it will bring solution to some of the problems that we are facing in Africa. So it is a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, we hope we will get more time for this, because we are at the end of the show. But I would like to introduce you again, because I have some comment on the interactive show asking me to introduce you again. So I will do it in this short announcement.
In the coming show, we will have a guest from South Africa who is both an author and a speaker. The CEO of the African Portal Radio TV International based in South Africa. Further, he is also an author, motivational speaker, model, and businessman. He also studied journalism at the University of Pennsylvania. He is the founder of and member of several organizations advocating for the African state and African development.
Thank you so much. Right now, let me take you to your album photo and comment some of your photo before the end of the show, please. We are okay. What this picture, where it was, and what was the idea here?
Wow, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is on my birthday. This is a photo shoot on my birthday last year. I was born in July 4. That's one of the things I forgot to tell people. So my birthday is America Independence Day. I was born on the same day with Americans when they're celebrating their Independence Day. So this picture was taken last year, July 4. I had July 4, but it's one of the pictures that gave momentum during my birthday last year. Yes.
What about this?
Oh, this is last year. I mean, this is just the award night on the 22 December, about a few weeks ago. Yes, this is one of my friend and a colleague based in UK. She's the author of the book, and also the other lady on the other side, she's from South Africa. The both of them are South Africans, and the lady live in UK, and the other lady also stay here in South Africa. So this is during the African Portal 2022 Awards, just few weeks ago.
Thank you. This one?
Wow, it's the same day. Is the award day in I mean the African Portal 2022 award. This is Ayera's family. They are from Tanzania. The old man in the middle is Professor Francis Ayera, and the two guys on the left and the right is the son, the first son and the second son, and the two ladies. The one in yellow is the wife of the first, and the one in the pink, the one staying next to the Professor Ayera is the wife of the second guy, and I'm the one on the extreme end.
Thank you. This one?
This is during the same program. Was just open up. I mean, presenting, having a live broadcast the program.
Thank you. And this one,
So
what
that
kind of food here?
this is jollof rice. For everyone that doesn't know what jollof rice look like, this is what we call jollof rice. And you need to come and have a plate of jollof rice here in South Africa. The Jollof Cafe is the one that promotes the African Porter 2022 award. So we have a place called Jollof Cafe in Brownston in South Africa. That is where the award takes place. So, yeah.
So what about this? Your website, you look like a prince here.
Oh wow! This is some years back. This is about 7 years ago. This is during an award night in Brownston. I know in Sandton City. Yes, this is one of the award nights. I think it's a South African award about 7 years ago. Yes, that is one of the award nights.
Okay, so let me take one of the key question on the screen, interactive screen. It says from Mr. Jamal says, can you describe Africa and what it suffers from, based on your own experience?
A very good question. Thank you very much there, Jamel. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful question that you actually have there. One of the problems of Africa is the leadership. The problem of Africa, to describe Africa, Africa is a beautiful continent. Africa is a great continent flow with milk and honey. Africa is where you can plant anything and it can germinate without putting any fertilizer. Africa is a continent that is having its own crude oil that is stolen by the Western and other parts of the world, especially the Asians, the Chinese are coming up to that now. Africa is a blessed land. Africa is a great continent that's been robbed by the Western and by the Asian. But that is just by the way. One of the problems of Africa and what Africans suffer for is the leadership. Africa doesn't have a leadership because most of the African leader was imposed by the Western. And they are carrying out the assignment of the Western. So what Africa is suffering for currently is the leader. We need a leader like Muammar Gaddafi that can stand his ground and fight for the freedom of his people. Libya is not the same today. Since the death of Muammar Gaddafi, Libya is no longer Libya. Muammar Gaddafi developed Libya to be one of the best countries in the world, but the Western ruined it. So we need a leader in Africa that can stand against the Western ideology, that can liberate Africa, that can make Africa to have access to what rightfully belongs to them. So the problem of Africa is leadership. That is just the answer to the question.
Thank you. One last word to the world, please.
One of the last words that I want to say to the world is that never look down on anybody regardless of the color or the religion or whatever you are practicing. Never see others as inferior and see yourself as superior. There is nothing special about any human being. We all human beings. Blood is flowing in our vein. Forget about your color. Your color has nothing to do. Forget about your country. If your country is great, there's nothing great about your company, about your country. Dollars is nothing without Africa. African currency should be the one that is leading, not using Africa against the Western currency. There is nothing special about the dollar. Dollar is just a piece of paper because there is no gold in America. African holds the gold, and dollars is based on African gold. So leave African alone. Free Africa. Let Africans enjoy their resources. Enough of stealing from Africa. Enough of blindfolding Africa. Enough of making Africans look stupid. We are no longer stupid. We know what we are doing. Let us develop our own state. Stop taking the raw material from Africa and take it to your own continent and refine it and bring it back to Africa to sell it back to us. That is a daylight robbery. Let Africa process their own raw material by themselves. Let Africa have their own refineries. Let the crude oil be processed in Africa and come back here, Western to come and buy it from us. Not further. Free Africa. Let Africa have their own peace. Enough African travel out of Africa to any part of the world to look for green pasture. Make Africa a green pasture. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Elder, thanks for accepting the invitation and for answering all the questions of Afromedia Canada today. I look forward meeting you in the coming show as well. Until then, this is Said wishing you all the best from Ottawa City in Canada.
God bless you. Thank you very much for having me.
You too.
We broadcast from Ottawa City, the capital of Canada. Together, we raise the bar and expand our reach. Through Afromedia radio and social media channels. The viewpoint here transcends the narrow constraints of traditional media. In the human story, we take sides. Leading personalities are interviewed. We conduct professional reviews and reports. The original content we produce is created and presented by international journalists.